According to YouTube, I do not have enough subscribers to sustain myself. So please like and subscribe, and if you want a coaching session, click the top link in the bio. Otherwise, sit back and take some notes and enjoy the video.
Basically, used to play games on my phone, then got tired of it, decided to go with the computer. We played Fortnite, and then switched over with my duo from Fortnite to Valorant, and he is like an ex-CSGO player, and we just play casual. He's really good at video games, and so that being said, playing with him, because he is so good, and he's that very casual, very nice, supportive duo. He's like, don't worry, it's okay, just have fun. And I found myself in Plat 3, and I started getting 2 kills a game, dying all the time, and I realized that I'm gonna have to get better. So I played a long time without really knowing anything about the game, just having fun, laughing, and he basically, my duo, like focuses and like kills all the people, and
yeah.
But we're not. I wasn't trying to be like, I'm not like an e-girl. It's just,
yeah,
he's like my partner, and we just spend, this is how we spend time together. He lives in Hawaii, and so
yeah,
it's just how it happened. And so I decided, because I saw how much fun he has when we were in the higher ranked games, so I decided to go on a journey and improve myself.
Most rounds don't last that long. Now that was bold. This was bad. You know,
the audio cues, right? Like I could hear him, and I knew there was one to the right, one to the left. But I don't know. Maybe I.
So you're trying to go 1 for 1, right? That's what you're trying to do. And 1 for 1 on defense isn't good. We know that, right? So 1 for 1 on defense objectively isn't good. Do you know why?
Because I'm the smokes player. I can't help with retake or the numbers game. I just threw a bunch of stuff out there. Okay, let's just be honest. I don't know.
Okay, if you don't know, that's okay. It's all right. We'll talk about it, right? If you don't know, that's perfectly fine. So going 1 for 1 on defense is bad, because think about what happens when the dust settles, okay? Now it's a 4v4, and you still have to cover the same amount of ground that you would have had to cover previously, right? So if you look at the map, right, you still have to cover this entire area, right? You have to cover the 4 different lanes. It's just people are going to be more spread out.
So I'm splitting the way that they cover. They can't cover,
yeah, because now
everything.
people have
so
to cover
like
everything.
Haven, now they have to be forced to like leave a choke point.
Yeah, because it'll essentially create a gap, right, in the defense.
Right.
That's what a lot of people call it at like higher levels. They call it a gap, right?
Okay.
So it'll leave a gap, and you're going 4 for 4, and and it's just like way easier for the enemies to hit. Because like think about it, if they regroup as 4, and now you have 2 here, 2 here, no matter what, they're going to have this advantage going in. Because previously, right, they could walk into 3 and whatever. But yeah, just sitting here. Because like you're maintaining a lot of space, right? If they walk into the smoke, they're fucking dead, right? So it's like you don't really need to do anything. You have a judge, you're close. Just stay in the smoke. You're good. I'm down for an ult here. Okay, this is something we've talked about before, but remember, it's your utility. If you think it's a good ult, because right here you can tell it's a good ult, right? Because you know somebody's stuck in the teleporter, like in this area. It'll push them into the sky. You know it's a good ult. Just use it. It's okay.
Spike down B.
Don't ult your teammate though.
1 enemy remaining.
I thought about it. I was like, okay.
Yeah. But no, yeah. Don't ask for permission. It is your utility. Just use it.
Okay.
Right? Tell them what you're doing and doing it if you think it'll help their situation. When you are in a team environment, it could be argued slightly differently. But for the most part, it is still your kit and you can use it, right? To ask a gun for someone once? Yeah, it happens. Sometimes people just don't buy a gun.
Thrifty.
Whatever. You try to stay with your chamber. I think that was your kind of reasoning behind this, right?
Yeah, I'm like, we should stay together, and then I saw her pushing out, so then I was like, I want to push with
I think
her.
it's just better to stick with your Sky here if you really were to pick, because like if he goes hookah and he kills your Sky, then he has bomb as well. So it's kind of a little bit worse of a situation. Where if he kills his chamber, well, you're still next to your Sky, you still have the bomb, it's 2v1, right? A little bit better. So what's our issue with where we're starting here? We've talked about this as well. What's our issue with us starting backside here?
I can't smoke the other side.
Or that is one thing. Like you can't smoke the other side. I mean, not really. You think you'd have to be here, right? When you play B, you kind of have to accept the fact that it's pretty difficult to smoke A.
I could get util dumped. Actually,
You
I don't
could get
remember.
util dumped. That is true, right? But why could you get util dumped? Why would they have more utility than normal if you were to start backside here?
They have more utility than normal. Because I allowed them hookah? Actually, I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's perfect. There you go. You allowed
Okay.
them into hookah for free, right? And no
Okay.
like. So here's the thing, right? Remember when we talked about there's like 4 lanes, right? And then we talked about compartments, right? Wait, what? No?
Yeah, we talked about 4 lanes, and yes.
Okay. So always remember that when you're playing on, especially a map like Bind, right? What you want to do is pick a lane and just kind of like fight for it. So you'd want to start up, right? Because like essentially what happens when you start backside B, remember this, right? When you start backside B, you're going to lose out on information early. So by the time you get the information that they're coming B, where are they? They're up long or in hookah. Agreed?
Okay.
So think
I
about
think that's
rotation
just
times.
me being passive and being afraid to like hold that angle. Like, oh, what if like a bunch of them like show up in hookah?
Yeah.
So I see what you're saying.
Yep.
Okay.
So
So
you're
don't
scared.
be afraid to watch it.
So yeah, like you can just listen for the information. If you hear a bunch of them stomping hookah, feel free to just jump out and smoke it, right? It's not a big
Okay.
deal. You're just getting the
Okay.
information earlier, and then you're getting your smoke down to create pressure on them, right?
Right.
It's
Whereas
kind of
if
one of
I
those
don't
things.
look, I
Yeah.
allow them to come all the way in, and then they're jumping out before I even say anything.
Yep.
Are they
Basically.
there? Tell me if they're there.
Oh, that's bold. Okay, can I ask why you TP'd here?
I TP'd because they said there was 1 showers, and so since he killed the 1 showers, then I thought that it would be free to do that, and then I could help pinch them on short.
Okay. I understand your reasoning, but in this situation, it is not good. So the thing is, right? Think about this, okay? Your teammate just got numbers advantage, so it's 5v4. They're not pressuring short because of dog, right? So there's no reason to TP here.
Okay.
If that makes sense. You already have information on both lanes, right? You know that they're not fighting, and you'd be good, right?
So then I still wait?
Yeah, you just wait, right? I mean, oh, here's the thing, right? I think you're in the, because I've always told you, like, let's start doing more active things. You're trying
You
things,
told me
which
to
is
be
great.
more aggressive,
Yeah,
so
I
I'm
like
trying to
it.
be aggressive.
I like it, right? But when you think about it, right? You know,
But
and
now
this
I'm
is
being too
perfect. No,
aggressive.
this is perfect though. This is perfect though, because your thought process is I want to help this Reyna, or like, and then
Yes.
potentially help them short. But there's no pressure being applied to those positions, and that's why the TP is bad. If there was a lot of pressure, like let's say your Reyna was still dueling one person in showers, you went here and you like, you know, you just
Then my TP
TP
makes them turn
your
around.
TP
and
makes
helps
him
the
turn
Reyna.
around, and you guys are then pinching him. You're what's called a crunch, right? So you're fighting them together essentially. So then it wouldn't be the worst case, right? Whether it's good or bad, it would depend on the situation. But yeah,
There's no one here.
this makes I mean, like, this play is a good play depending on the situation, and that's what I mean, right? So it's like this allows me to tell you, hey, you read the situation wrong, right? And that's okay. Okay, here we're towards A. I think a big thing that I'm noticing is at the start of rounds, and I don't know if because this is like a particular game you argued with somebody, but you aren't at the start of the rounds coming up with your plan, right? Like you don't know
Okay.
what you want to do, right? A lot of times you're just like floating in the middle of the open, and you're like, yeah, like at the start of the game you're like, yep, this is what I'm doing, right? But you're not creating that plan based off of what other people are doing. You're kind of just throwing your default smokes, if that makes sense, right? You're like, oh, I'll throw
Yeah.
this smoke here, and then I'll
I
do
think because we
this.
started losing, so I lost confidence in like, oh, I had like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and then we started losing, so then I lose my confidence, and I'm like, maybe someone else needs to come up with a plan, or you know.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what happened, and then there, I did not check the angles. I was like, I heard that they were all there. I looked up, I saw a bunch, and then I died because of it.
Yeah.
Oh,
But yeah.
Reyna's like,
Anyway.
Down.
Sorry, I just had to take care of something. But,
Been peeking down.
honestly,
oh,
yeah, I think, yeah, I mean, I get your thought process of like, oh, things are going wrong, but you know what I always say? Just like stick to the basics, right? Take a
Yeah.
second, digest what's going on. Why are they winning rounds, right? Just like take that moment of pause every time. Like it's okay to pause. Like in this game, right? A lot of people get like hectic, they get chaotic because like, oh, we're losing, we gotta do something, we gotta do something. Take a moment. We're good, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
they're gonna
so
rotate.
on eco rounds, right? What should we be trying to
Mhm.
do?
Play together and trade out as many of those guns as we can.
What else should we be trying to do?
Farm orbs.
There you go. What's another thing we
Okay.
could try to do?
Win?
No, winning's like our. You know, if it happens, it
Yeah.
happens on our piss on like our second round, right? What gives us extra money that we could do on attack? Plant, right? So those are our 3 objectives, right?
Okay.
We bundle up, we try to get trades, we get orbs. Or it should always be orb priority first, right? And then we bundle up, and then we get our trades, and if we can get bomb down, we get bomb down, right? When it comes to crosshair placement, once things get kind of cleared, you always need to be aware of like what you actually need to be looking at, right? So for example, I always like to use Breeze B site because it's the easiest way to go about talking about this, right? So let's say
Okay.
you're scaling out B site, right? And there's a Viper wall here, right? Or whatever,
Okay.
and you have a drone that goes out. So there's what's called danger points, right? So this is kind of like a danger section. This is a danger section. This is a danger section, right? This is a danger section. Right, and then this is also like, you know, kind of like dangerous, if that makes sense, right? So now when you look at this, right, when you scale up, your crosshair initially will probably be right here, right? And this will get turned all green. Why is it getting turned all green? Because you've already cleared it, because you're looking directly at it, right? And obviously everything around here is green as well, right? Because you can see it, right? So anything you can see becomes your space, right? So let's say you dog out and you drone, okay? And it clears right side. So now we no longer have to look at right side. This becomes a green side, right? And then once we turn the corner and the drone clears left, this also becomes a green side. The second our person, right? The second our person comes around this corner and we clear this, right? This is also green. And especially if there's a Sova dart, right? So like utility can also do it. Do you see how like it's essentially telegraphing where your crosshair needs to be as we clear things one at a time? Does that make sense?
Cutting
Okay.
their vision.
So we have a couple mechanic things overall, a little bit of understanding our utility usage, a little bit of map understanding and like where we position ourselves at the start of the round, and then we need
Yes.
to play numbers a little bit better in the
Is he
mid
still
round,
in
and
the
like our mid round decision making
bathroom
needs to get
too?
better. Okay, so I think I've got a pretty good gauge of where I want to go with you.
Thanks for watching to the end of the video. Don't forget to leave a like and a comment down below, because God, I'd suck someone's dick to get put in the algorithm. YouTube, if you're watching this, just let me know.